Hey guys, welcome in this video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in this video, we're going to talk about personal finance and everything that you need to know about this topic. So it's a subject that I haven't really talked about much on my YouTube channel, but I think that it's really important, and it's actually the foundation that you will use to eventually, well, get a good trading capital, grow your account, and start to make more and more money from trading. So if you want to become successful in trading or business or anything around these things, right, you need first to develop good habits with your personal finances, and this is what we will talk about in this video. So I'm really excited to talk about this with you guys today. So just before that we start, as always, feel free to drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it, and make sure as well that you are subscribed to the channel if it's not already done. Alright guys, so let's get into it. So I have some notes here on my laptop, so I will go point by point. And the first thing that I want to let you guys know about is that I am not a financial advisor. So everything that I'm about to share with you is not or should not be considered as financial trading or investment advice. The only thing that I do in all of my videos, right, everything that I produce online as content is simply my opinion. It's how I do it, right? So take it as what it is. Now, first of all, right, the main point I think that is really important to focus on, especially at the beginning, is your income versus your expenses, right? So let's say that someone has a regular job, they make $50,000 per year, right? Well, you need to look at this income and understand that it's not really, the money that you have, right? Because you have taxes and stuff like that on top of it. And then you have all your expenses, right? So rent, food, and stuff like that. So at the end of the month, right, you need to look at, on average, how much you will have left, right? Now, you don't need to go penny by penny, right? That's not the idea. You don't want to just look at the numbers themselves, right? Very precisely. I think it's more just a waste of time and a waste of energy, right? What you want to do instead is to have a general idea, right, on how much you spend on rent, how much you spend on food, how much you spend on this, that, right? And then have a overall idea, okay, after the month, right, how much do I have saved up, right? Is it $100? Is it $500? Is it $1,000, right? It depends for everyone. It depends, of course, on your level of income and your level of expenses, right? But you need to understand that at the beginning, if all you have is, let's say, one source of income, and then you have just a regular life like most people, well, you cannot really make a lot of magic out of this, in the sense that either that you try to increase your income or that you try to lower your expenses, right? Now, I'm a big fan of doing both at the same time, because this is really what will change everything, right? If you just lower slightly your expenses, right? Let's say that you go a bit less to the restaurant, or that you buy a little less clothes, right? It's going to make a difference, but it's not going to make a major difference, right? Now, if you can add another income source on top of that, right? Let's say that instead of making $50,000 per year, you make $60,000 per year or $70,000 per year. Well, all of a sudden, right, if you can do this plus save some expenses, right, now you have something that will make a massive difference, right? And so that is exactly what I was focusing on at the beginning of my trading career, to actually make as much money as I could and then reinvest this money into my trading account. And then at some point, my trading account was making a lot of money as well, and I had different sources of income, which is still the case today, because I do my trading, right? I have different businesses, I have investment and stuff like that. So I have multiple sources of income, but the way to actually get to this point is to have one source of income at first, right? Then try to lower your expenses and try to get a second source of income. This might actually require some sacrifice, right? Maybe that you will need to work a bit more, maybe that you will need to put in a bit more hours, right? But it's normal, it's part of life, it's part of the process, and you need to understand that if you want to get, at the end of the day, above than average results, right? If you want to make a lot more money than the average person, well, you need to put in a lot more work, right? I mean, it's just as simple as that, guys. It's not going to come, easy as most people want you to believe on the internet, right? You still need to put in the work if you want to make it happen. But the cool thing about that is that if you actually do it, if you really put in the hours, well, it's more than possible to do it, right? You just need to have a plan. So the first thing, as I said, right, focus on try to lower your expenses as best as you can, right? And try to upgrade your income as best as you can. I believe that if you can find a way to do both at the same time, you will change your financial condition right away, and it's going to be relatively simple, right? It's not that hard to do, right? It's more than doable. There are plenty of jobs today that you can do either online or just physically, right? And there are multiple ways as well of how you can lower your expenses. And so one of these ways, and that is essentially my second point, is to simply make a budget, right? Try again to look at, okay, how much do I spend on rent? How much do I spend on food, clothes, and stuff like that? And really just try to see essentially if all of these expenses are justifiable, right? In the sense that, are these purchases that you make really necessary, and do they truly add value to your life, right? So for example, if you spend, on average $200 per month on clothes, I'm sorry, but it's not necessary, right? I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's useless, right? Clothes don't bring really any true value to your life, right? Now, even myself, when I was younger, I used to spend money on designer pieces and stuff like that when I started to make more money, but I was a bit young, right? And this was not really the best financial decisions that I made in my life, right? But we all make mistakes, and that's fine. So don't judge yourself too much. But now with looking back at this, right, I can tell you guys that spending money on clothes is truly useless, right? For example, this t-shirt, it's like a $5 t-shirt, right? And all my t-shirts are essentially just $5 or $10 t-shirts, right? I don't need a lot, right? For example, my shorts, they are $20, like it's just one example, right, that I can find, but it's these kind of things, right, where instead of spending $200 per month, if you can spend just, let's say, $20 or $50 per month, already you're saving a lot of money, right? And so once you make a budget, you will realize where your money goes, right? You need to understand the money that you get, right, where it goes, and then try to see if that really makes sense. So every single time that you are about to make a purchase, right, if you are at a point in your life, right, where you don't have that much money and you're trying to save as much as you can, as I said, ask yourself the question, is this really a purchase that will truly add value to my life? Is this something that I really need, or is this just an emotion that I have, right? And if it's just kind of something that you want but that you don't really need, right? If you can try to suppress that as best as you can, you will then be able to save more money. I know that, again, that it doesn't sound really sexy, right? It doesn't really sound, exciting what I'm telling you guys right now, right? But that's the truth, and that's how you have to do it, right, in order to make it happen, right? Again, guys, if you don't make sacrifices for what you want will eventually be the sacrifice, right? This is one thing that my mentor used to tell me, and it completely flipped my perspective around. Now, again, the next point, right, and this is probably the most important one on top of everything that I just explained, right? You need to develop the discipline to actually do all of these stuff, right? You need to look at, okay, what exactly is my income, right? After taxes and stuff like that, how much do I make every single month? Then you need to look at, okay, how much do I spend every single month? What's the difference? Then trying to see, okay, where is your money going? Asking yourself the question, for all of these purchases, is this something that I truly need, or is this something that I could remove? And then once you have done this exercise, the next step is to actually upgrade your income, right? Because honestly, guys, you're not going to become extremely wealthy by just trying to lower your expenses as much as you can. And that's also the point that I'm trying to explain in this video, right? A lot of people, when it comes to personal finance, only focus on saving as much as they can. And again, it's not bad, right? I'm talking about saving in this video, but what you also have to do is to upgrade your income, because at some point, right, you cannot save all the money that you make, right? You need to pay for rent. You need to buy food to actually live, right? It's perfectly normal. Your expenses cannot always go down, right? At some point, there is a limit that you cannot really go under if you want to still just maintain a decent quality of life. So focus on that first, right? Try to just lower everything that is not really necessary. But once that is done, forget about this part, right? Just lock it in a box and focus then on upgrading your income. Either that you find a second job, either that you find a job that pays more money, either that you start to trade, you start to develop a business, right? I mean, guys, we live in 2022 as I'm recording this video, right? There are so many different ways on how you can make money, right? Just don't limit yourself, okay? And at the end of the week, right, we all have the same 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? So either that you try to find some time, right, or that you work more, you sleep less, like, I don't know what you have to do, right? It all depends on your own situation, but there are always certain things that you can do to improve your conditions, right? And as I said, guys, if you make, let's say, $50,000 per year, you don't need to necessarily double that in the first year, even if that would be amazing and that would be the best. Even if you can just find a way to make $500 more, $1,000 more, right? It's perfectly achievable, and it could already just completely change your financial situation, right? And that's the reason why I always tell people that if they want, they can start with a relatively small amount of money in trading and still eventually get good results, and achieve big numbers at some point, right? Because if, let's say, you start trading with a few hundreds, with a few thousands, of course, at the beginning, you're not going to make crazy amounts of money, but still maybe that you will be to make a few hundreds on average per month. If you have, let's say, a few $1,000s within your trading account, if you are good, making a few hundreds more per month already is very, very realistic, okay? And then at some point, maybe after 1 year or 2 years, your capital will grow to 10,000 and then 20,000, right? And then you will make more and more money as time goes by. And that's the reason why I think trading is a really, really good idea for a lot of people. It's simply because it doesn't take a lot of time if you actually optimize your trading the way that I do. And so you still have the time to get, to have a job or to have a business, right? To have just, let's say, a normal, quote unquote, source of income, right? And then at the same time, right, you can do trading, right? Or as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be trading. If you want to do other things, it's perfectly fine as well. But I think that it's a really good, actually, road to go into because, as I said, it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of capital to get started. And once you become good, there essentially is no limit to what you can achieve. It's just a matter of time before that you get bigger results, right? And before that you reach bigger numbers. You know, I've been trading for 7 years, guys. So after some time, right, you develop a bigger capital and you start to make more and more money. The beginning is always more slow, but if you are willing to go through the process and be patient, then you can make it happen, right? This is exactly what I tell to our students who are inside of our coaching program. And it works very, very well, right? You don't necessarily need to go all in right at the beginning. You can take the time to, just learn, save money at the same time, right? Then you start with a certain capital, you grow this capital over time, and then you can become good. Or you can also get a funded account, which is essentially an account that a company will give you if you can prove to them that you know how to trade, right? And so that's the reason why at the end of the day, education and just learning skills that will make money is essentially the best investment that you will ever make, right? Because someone who makes a lot of money versus someone who doesn't make a lot of money, it's not that this person here is more special or more talented. It's just that they have skills that this person here doesn't have, right? In this society, you get paid in proportion to the skills that you have and the problems that you can solve, right? So it's all about investing in yourself, learning new skills, trying to get better, right? And then after doing this, you will be able to upgrade your income, and this will, as I said, change your financial situation. So that's essentially the process that I've followed myself in my life to actually get to where I'm at today. This is what really changed everything for me, and I know that it can change a lot of people's life because I've seen it happen either with some friends or people who are again inside of our coaching program, and it works very, very well. So again, all of these are not advices, but this is exactly what I did in my own personal life, and from my opinion, it works very, very well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if this is a topic that you like to hear me talk about. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. If you have any other topics that you want me to talk about in other videos, drop them in the comments below as well. I will definitely take a read at this, and I will see what I can do in terms of other content that I can produce for you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it. As I said, share it around, and on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.